You have a CLAUDE.md. You have skills, rules, a folder of prompts that you wrote maybe 6 months ago and never ever touch them again. And every time the output goes weird, you add another rule on top, maybe another. I know because I did exactly the same to build Zero to UI. I have a CLAUDE.md, I have skills, I have the imagery, the lab, the video log, production, content department, all that jazz. But I'm not sure which one is actually working for me. And lately I watched a video from the man himself who wrote Claude Code. And he said he and his team deleted 80% of the Claude code base in order to deliver the new Opus model. At that time, I paid attention and rewatched the video. And I want to talk about today 3 things I've learned from that video and the next steps that I'm going to do and move forward in order to deliver better content. And full disclosure, no, you don't need to be a coder to watch this. Lesson number 1, delete before you add anything. And you might say, how? I know because at that moment I stopped the video and rewatched again. But I understood that the Anthropic team delete 80% of the code base in order to deliver the new model. And Boris himself explained in one line, and I quote, most of the instructions existed to correct behavior of the old model got wrong. So can you imagine all these skills, all these rules that you have write in order to work faster, more efficient? Some of them are still working, but some of them are basically a noise that does not need to exist anymore. Then Boris talked about the method, which is they delete the entire thing, but use the prompt anyway and add few lines back. And then they realize the model gets stumbled repeatedly over and over again. And the methodology that they follow is to delete, use, observe, and add back. In research, they call it the ablation. But what I'm doing differently rather than Boris, because our brains are not working the same way. I'm a designer, he is an engineer. First, I will archive everything because I don't want to lose all these files. And recently, after watching that video, I gave the key major MD files to Claude, the new models, and say which parts are the foundational parts that you should really put the output to make a difference and which parts are not relevant anymore. And then I ask Claude once again from the newer model to tell me how much more in percentage, how much more token efficient can I be by doing this. And the results are sometimes up to 40%, sometimes up to 70% of token reduction. So can you imagine, they understand the same context, but way faster and way more efficient. So the lesson that I learned from this is half of the instructions that I already have were basically trying to fix a model that doesn't exist anymore. Lesson number 2 is stop redlining the model. And if you ask why, this is the exact specific problem a designer might have. And I did not notice until he said it back. He said the common problem here is over specification, something like do this and then that in exact order. But can you imagine you are contracting a coder, an engineer, and instead of telling what you want, you try to tell how he should work in order. Is that efficient? No. And the current models that we have are orders of magnitude more intelligent than the previous models. So they kind of fix it and you don't need to explain yourself over and over again. And especially engineers who are coding for maybe decades are the worst at this, because this is exactly the framework that they have learned in order to execute and build. But designers do it for a different purpose here. We hand over the red lines. We specifically talk about the spacing, hex values, the states, or the rules, just in order to protect the design taste. And can you imagine, with all this knowledge, we prompt the same way and then talk about why the output seems like a checklist. That's why. So his replacements are in 3 parts, and I wrote them in a sticky notes, which are: describe the tasks, describe the guardrails, and describe the exit criteria. And leave it alone and come back. You can make a small experiment, something like a little one. Give one UI challenge or a design challenge with specifically how you want in the new methodology, versus in another session, give it in the old order that you specifically talk about, let's say 10 different steps that it needs to take action. And just compare the output and you will see the difference yourself. Basically, you can also test that the output is not only way better, but also it is spending less tokens. Why? Because instead of following these 12 unnecessary steps that you guided through, it only will focus on the output and finish it no matter what. But I see it like the new iPhones. I never thought about the old models are bad. It's only the new models are supporting the new technology. Same goes to these prompts. They were right. They were doing the job with the older models. But right now we have faster and more efficient models. So it's time to change. Give it a try. Give the brief and the guardrails, but do not redline it, and see what change. Lesson number 3 is verification is a taste job. You might go, what? But I assure you, especially designers have the unfair advantage here. And most of us, including me, we did not even notice. Well, I obviously noticed, that's why I'm making this video. He said verification is a single thing people get wrong and nowhere near the prompting, verification. Because the model need to verify its own work or it will drift anyway. Then he gave an example that really stopped me. They ask to rebuild the Claude desktop app, and with the old model, basically on a virtual machine, and gave few screenshots and make it a match pixel per pixel and do not stop until they match 100%. But here's the interesting part. That prompt was running on the background for 2 weeks. Can you imagine? When my prompt is running on the background, the Claude Code, for more than an hour, I get freaked out and check my tokens. I would not recommend if you are not a coder. It was basically the same idea on another team, an entire code base written from one language to another in 11 days, which in normal term, the Anthropic team could have delivered in maybe a year. So I would highly advise you as a designer, for instance, to read that prompt once again, take screenshots, take your references well, document them well, and compare. And do not stop until your comparison match with the output. And this is what I would call a critic loop, right? This is a design critic that we normally do it day-to-day basis. So the practical term for us designers is, for every prompt gets a how do you know it is done line when you edit, and it will start to rewrite the visual terms. Compare anything in your Figma file, let's say your Figma canvas, pixel by pixel. And you can also check, in the past it used to make those mistakes a lot. Right now it's doing every time more superior. I'm surprised. Like checking your token usage, check your variables, if it's taking a raw number or a variable from Figma, every spacing value, every font family, and flag anything that does wrong. And screenshot both outcome and tell me what changed. Because since we are not writing the code here, we are trying to build ourselves an acceptance criteria. Because you already know the 8 pixel rule, right? And his other line that makes the room laugh so much was, stop listening to LinkedIn influencers. Because there's no trick. There's no magic trick. Just try and watch where it fails and fix it and learn from that. And this is what I have been telling in this channel to you as a designer or to you as a builder who want to build things. Stop saving exercises. Maybe, okay, bookmark them and then just do it. And if you find it maybe boring, try to spot some problems that you may have and try to integrate our tutorial with your own problem and try to fix and learn from that. Because that's the only way, the practical way for you to move forward. This is our unfair advantage. Coding is getting sold slowly, but knowing when it looks wrong is not. So here is your homework. Take your instructions file that you wrote 6 months ago. If I were you, I will directly archive that version. But anyhow, take that, delete the parts that you find not necessary anymore, and put it back. Maybe work for a week and see what breaks or what not. Because if nothing breaks, it was just a noise for the new model, because it will understand it anyway. And if you want to see how we build products by using tools like Claude Code, watch this video. Thanks for watching and hope to see you in the next one.